Always seek to do good to one another and to everyone. It is Wednesday, the 18th day of October, 2023. Clive Walsh here, inviting you to join me as we sit still for a few minutes and take in this devotional thought and allow the Spirit of God to encourage us and to minister His grace, His love, and His mercy to us to prepare us for what lies ahead in this day. And the title of our devotional thought today is In This World for Good. Once again, in this world for good. And the verse today, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 15, which reads, Always seek to do good to one another and to everyone. Once again, always seek to do good to one another and to everyone. That's the book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 15. Alistair Begg writes, and if you are unfamiliar with Alistair Begg, he's the senior pastor of Parkside Church in Cleveland, Ohio, and the Bible teacher at Truth for Life, which is heard on the radio and online around the world, and we're really blessed and fortunate to have him right here on Lighthouse Christian Radio, FM 101.3 at 6 a.m. as well as 6 p.m. every Monday through Friday. Do you ever think that the Bible's commands seem impossibly all-encompassing? Paul's first letter to the Thessalonians 5 is chock full of such directives. Rejoice always, 1 Thessalonians 5:16. Pray without ceasing, 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 17. Sometimes verses like these seem to raise more questions than provide answers. A bit of details or a few caveats couldn't hurt, could they? And what about the command in verse 15? Seek to do good, for whom? Everyone. When? Always. That's a lot of good to a lot of people, a lot of the time. Instead of thinking of a command like this as impossibly general, a better way to think of it is that it is abundantly generous. We have a God who gives and keeps giving. No matter how many times we fail Him, He still meets us with kindness. Along with Paul, we should ask ourselves, what do you have that you have not received? 1 Corinthians 4 verse 7. The answer, of course, is absolutely nothing. It is simply in God's nature and disposition overflow with kindness, mercy, and grace, and as His children, we should be learning to imitate Him as best we can. We all have bad days, of course. Inevitably, we will displease or even hurt someone at some point. But what if we went through today or tomorrow with the aim of always seeking to do good to everyone? What do you think would change? How would others respond? Perhaps instead of seeing others as obstacles or roadblocks, we'd see them more as men and women with dignity, who are worthy of love and respect. Or perhaps, instead of us treating some people like enemies, we would begin to understand their positions and even genuinely begin to appreciate them. Whatever the specific situations you encounter, God has placed you in this world for good. It is your privilege and pleasure to share His kindness and His goodness with anyone and everyone you can. And what a great reminder that the purposes of God for us to be here is quite simply, He placed us here for good. And it is our privilege and our pleasure, truly, to share His kindness and His goodness with anyone and everyone that we can. And so let's make that our aim today. Let's watch what God will do in Jesus' name. And for those of you reading through the scriptures in a year, your assignment today, 1 Samuel chapter 15 and 16, as well as 2 Peter chapter 1. Clive Walsh here, asking God's richest blessings upon you, through you, and with you today.